Okay. What's your name? State your
Hi,
name.
I'm Nancy Brown.
Okay, really. And what's your occupation and where do you work at?
So right now I teach engineering at CAMS, but years ago I was an engineer. I was a civil engineer for a construction company.
Very nice. And do you mind giving the name of the company? Or?
It was Hunt Nichols. They were based out of Dallas, Texas.
Oh, very nice. Okay, so what was the university you went to and like your field of study, your major?
I went to Oklahoma State University. It's in Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Oh, wow. And what was your major?
My major was civil engineering.
Oh, fun. And what was your level of education? Did you go for associates, bachelor's?
So I have a bachelor's in civil engineering.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and so where did you start working? Did you get any internships?
I never had an internship. I just went straight from high school to college, and the only work experience I had, honestly, was in food kitchens and a grocery store. So the jobs I had in college to help me go through college weren't related to my industry at all. But once I was a senior, my university had placement help. So they helped me get interviews, they helped me find jobs to interview with, and then ultimately I got a job.
Wow, that's amazing. Is there any other information you'd want to share about your job?
I would love to tell you about that job. It was really interesting. Being a female in the construction industry was really challenging because I was the only woman on that whole work site except for the secretary. So it was just me and the secretary, the only women there. I worked with all men. I was in charge of a surveying crew. So a surveying crew is known as a party.
Yeah.
And so since I was the head of it, I was the party chief. So we always thought that was funny.
Yeah.
So party chief. And I pretty much worked with these two guys, Glenn and Tim. And Tim was the one who really operated the equipment. So he was called the instrument man.
Yeah.
And Glenn was kind of the underling, and he was in charge of holding the chain. And so sometimes he's called a rod man, sometimes a chain man. Mm-hmm. And we went all over the place and did surveying for that company. And my crew liked me and bought me a pink hard hat. So somewhere in my storage unit, I have a pink hard hat from those days. Fun. And then I eventually got promoted to become an office engineer. At that time, my status was field engineer, but I got promoted to office engineer. And then my job was paperwork, and I didn't like it as much.
Yeah. So
I liked being out in the field. It was really interesting, and I learned a lot.
All right, well, thank you very much. I appreciate this.
Thank you.
All right. So that's a wrap.